Welcome back to the Silent Hill Ascension post show. I'm still somehow Layla, and that over there is the rambunctious Michael Toby Ursu, the voice actor of Toby, here to join us for an interview.
That's right.
Yeah. Welcome, Michael. How you doing?
I'm doing good. It's Toby time.
It is Toby time indeed. So you got to see some of the scenes tonight. Any thoughts? Any theories, perhaps?
I loved all the scenes. Brit's my girl. I like her a lot. She's feisty. Yeah, I love always just seeing the stuff over the seas with Astrid and stuff. I like that a lot.
Yeah, because you didn't really get to experience a lot of that. And honestly, no. If Toby, if you took to Toby, unsurprising that you take to Astrid or to Brit. They're not dissimilar, they're both struggling in similar ways.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, the floor is yours. Would you care to introduce yourselves to our audience?
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Michael Ursu. Sometimes I go by Maku, my initials. I'm a voice actor, musician, and composer living in LA. I'm originally from Queens, New York. And I came to LA to study music, where I learned how to record stuff. After college, I had a few odd music jobs here and there, but I was in this band, and my bandmates convinced me to get into acting. So I found a gig on Craigslist as an extra, and then my next gig I found on Craigslist was as a bartender, but I had a line. So after that, the acting bug kind of hit me, and a few years after that, the pandemic hit, and I thought, okay, well, I can't act in person. How can I keep acting? So I kind of discovered voice acting. I'm like, well, I know how to record stuff already, so let me try voice acting a bit. So I narrated some audiobooks, then I got into commercial work, and then, of course, into video games and animation. And yeah, here I am, full-time actor and voiceover artist.
Well, we're so glad that was the trajectory. Do you happen to remember what that first line that got you hooked on acting was, that bartender line?
It was like,
I say as if I know it.
Do you want your whiskey neat or on the rocks? That was my first line. And then the guy told me I could get an agent off of that one line.
Hey, look at you now.
Look at me now.
Winner, chicken dinner. Well, we're so glad that was your path. Well, hey, let's get into it. A reminder for our darling audience that if you have questions for Michael, or again for Toby, because Michael was kind enough to volunteer to do some improv, put them in chat. Our chat team will send me some highlights, and if you're good enough, I'll ask our wonderful talent here that's sitting here with us. But hey, for now. You have multiple specialties, as you just said: actor, musician, voice actor. But for Silent Hill Ascension, you were part of our voice cast.
That's right.
Could you describe a typical day working?
Well, I'd wake up, drive to downtown LA where the studio was located. Usually put on like some metal music, like metalcore music I'm actually into nowadays. Kind of get in the mood of just like, hopeless guy over here. And I hit the studio for either, the sessions would range either from 30 minutes to 4 hours. Sometimes a few pickups would be needed here and there. And then sometimes I'd be there like, working, like dying 10 times, like, okay, now scream like you got stabbed. Okay, now scream like you got burned. Okay, now scream like you got acid splashed on you. So all sorts of different things to work with, but all very rewarding stuff.
Yeah, 30 minutes to 4 hours is quite the range.
Oh, yes.
We actually got an audience question that I think is, I think a lot of people want to know the answer to, which is the Bold Blue Jay asks, how do you feel about the final fate of Toby? He went out on low hope, but redemption, and unfortunately met quite an early end.
Well, you guys goofed. Maybe you could have saved him, but you didn't. But you didn't. You let him down.
You heard it from the Tobes himself. You've been tobed.
You let me down. No one cares about Toby Cirelli. Nobody.
Ooh, I gotta chill. So actually, your voice is funny because I'm the most used to hearing your voice because in development there was a line that you said that got cut that we would use for testing, and so you said that, and I just got the most vivid flashback. So I heard you played Silent Hills 3 and 4, but also that horror as a genre has a very special place for you and your family. Could you please share about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, my mom came from, she came to New York from communist Romania, where they didn't have access to much stuff. And she fell in love with horror. Like, the first movie she showed me was The Ring at like age 10. And I put my TV in the closet. Like, as a child, I put my TV in the closet for a week after seeing that movie. And then we shortly watched the Resident Evil movie with Mila Jovovich and Michelle Rodriguez after that. And after that movie, and like after watching so much horror stuff with her, I just kind of like, I guess I got a love for the macabre and all things dark and spooky and horror. And of course, I gravitated towards games like, you know, Silent Hill 3 and 4, which were very scary to play alone. But yeah, that's kind of how I got into the whole horror genre.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember you telling that story. I relate to that because my family also came from a communist country background. So
yeah,
you know, that's how I got into video games, was when we were able to get tech from the West. My grandpa was super excited and like brought home systems. So super relatable.
Yeah, absolutely.
And thank you for sharing. What was your very first perception of our favorite damp gentleman, Toby Cirelli?
Toby Cirelli. Funny enough, the first character model I saw of him had longer hair than what was presented in the game. Maybe like a little bit longer, like down to here. But I thought, okay, here's in my head at first I thought he was just like a supporting character, just going to be the town drunk and not really have too much going on like story-wise. But then as I kept reading the scripts and I saw the posters coming out for the game, I was like, wow, this guy's like a lead character and there's a lot going on here. You know, I'm not just the town drunk. I am the God, I lost my sister to, you know, an overdose. A lot of things happen at the mill that I have to reconcile with. So he became a deeper character over time. And, you know, recording all my lines, I was so sad to record my last line. I think it was like back in September, October, for him. Cause I was like, man, I really want to explore this character so much because he's so cool. So.
And you were mourned. Actually, so we also have Turbo Bastard here saying, I saw The Ring at the same age and it terrified me, so you're not alone.
Yeah, it was scary. You don't show kids that movie, but you know what? It's all good.
It's all, listen, you survived it. But
I survived it.
Yeah, it's the same. I also, you know, took to Toby when I first met him. So he's quite he's the heart, you know, of Pennsylvania. And,
he's got heart.
F's in the chat for our boy, everybody. We do miss you. We mourned you for a while.
That's right.
Pay respect. All right. Did that perception that we just discussed evolve over time?
Yeah, like I said, it kind of did. You know, all the talks with like Eric and Joy, you know, I would have loved to explore that relationship between me and Eric more, because I really like Eric. You know. Eric's VA, and I just wish that our characters had, you know, some more screen time, and I wish that like the relationship between me and Joy was explored a little bit more too, because I would have loved some more fuel for that fire. But yeah, it was just a little deeper than I thought.
Yeah. And Kat says Toby spinoff where he faked his death to escape the Foundation. Hey, you know. Our folks are listening. Right on down.
I'll join Elvis and Tupac and all those guys on the island. There you go.
Also, I know you didn't see it on your side, but there was a solid wall of Fs for Toby.
Yes, so. Thank you.
Yeah, we got our Fs. So Toby's relationship with others, as you just mentioned, was always tense, especially with Joy, right? The perception of Joy. So how did you see that relationship between Toby and his dead sister? I know you said you wanted to explore it more, but like as it was, what were your feelings about it?
Yeah, it didn't really hit me when I was like recording the lines, but when I watched playback, the actor who played Joy, Hope, I think is her name, it was just so like scary to hear her version of Joy, because I had a completely different version of Joy in my head, and she was just like so aggressive and like violent, almost like this like horror version of the sister I once knew. So it was just really interesting to see us playing together, even though I had never even met her, you know, during the sessions, because we had so many lines to record. But yeah, that relationship seemed really tense. It made me feel like that, like Toby had a lot of guilt over this, and That's why he was just so much fun to play. So many layers.
Yeah, like an onion of a fella. You know,
That's right, just peeling it back.
And it's all just tears all the way down.
Yeah, it sure is.
Toby, as we've discussed several times at this point, that was a fan favorite. But at a short, you're truly. But I didn't
even know that, so thank you guys. That's awesome. I really appreciate it. For
absolute real, and we certainly encourage that behavior on the hosted show, which is why I'm sitting here in front of you. I think I was Captain Toby for a while. I'm left off in the middle of my sentence. Your fan favorite had a short run before meeting your demise. What was your favorite scene to record?
That's so hard. I liked all the scenes where I was trying to convince Eric to leave Rachel, because like in my head, that's just like me as a person, that was just like a no-brainer. Like, you need to leave her, dude. Like, she's crazy. But I also liked me and Rachel's scenes near the end too, where I kind of realized like I might have to sacrifice myself to, you know, get this over with. And there's almost like a sense of like redemption with Toby and Rachel a bit. But I liked recording those options when I was there too, because Toby had a very fast arc, going from like, you know, completely hopeless drunk to like, okay, I'm gonna try and like do right. So yeah, absolutely. So our final question we've already kind of addressed, which is, well, what is your message for the audience that let you die? So audience, I will remind you that we are happy to take questions. So if you want to put them in the chat, I will buy you some time currently by asking Michael, what is your favorite character from the Silent Hill franchise outside of Ascension? From the Silent Hill franchise? Definitely Heather from 3. Hey. Absolutely. She was my favorite. I couldn't play that game. I don't think I played more than 3 hours of that game when I was a kid. I think I played the game when I was like 16 or 15. And I had to go to my friend's house to play that game because it was so scary back in the day. But yeah, she's my favorite character for sure. And also, of course, Pyramid Head, but yeah. Well, we got a question from Mr. P-Slosh, which is, how much did you record that we didn't get to see? I recorded a lot. I want to say like tens of thousands, if not like 100,000 lines that, like, you know, all the different options. I mean, I recorded a lot of stuff. It was pretty much from like almost April to like October of last year. It was like almost a session every like week or two. So there was a lot of stuff that y'all didn't catch, and I don't know, maybe if y'all had chosen differently, you could have seen some other options, but I'm okay with what happened. I'm all right. Yeah, but, you know, trust me. He says he's okay, but listen, we never know what happens. Bring Toby back as a ghost. Come on. Oh, that would be so... Toby Ghost would be very funny. I'll do ghost voice like this. Just trying to drink and phasing through every bottle. Just phasing through the bottles of booze. I would pay for, like, whoever makes Scooby-Doo. That's me and you pitch that. So we do also have a question of how much longer could Toby have lasted? Does he ever make it to the Morgie? So Toby, I'll gently rephrase, which is to say Toby would have been an early exit regardless, but would he have participated in that Foundation merging ritual? Would I have joined the cult of the merge? Would you? May the merge be with you. We'll take that as a yes, everybody. That's all I have to say. Take that as a yes. Toby fucking Cirelli. That's all I have to say. All right. Oh, and we have a good question to actually take us out on a little bit, which is, Michael, do you have any cool things what you're going to be acting in that folks who are fans of you can follow? Sure, yeah. Hollywood is sparse right now, but I am in a few things. I did this vertical series, very popular nowadays, I guess, called The Alpha and His Contract Luna. It's available on Good Short. You can find it on Instagram, too. You can watch me there. You can follow me on Instagram at Maku Music, MAKU Music. I'm always posting stuff that I'm in, or just funny songs and stuff. So yeah, if you wanted to follow my journey, you can follow me there. Yeah, and I am sure you'll get an influx of passionate Toby stands as a result. But hey, everybody, thank you so much for joining us in the Silent Hill Ascension post show. Michael, it was a delight to have you and to meet you. You've been an angel and a saint. But as for everybody, we are ready to go ahead and start taking you out. So production, I believe, do we have a run of show graphic?
We may not. Yeah, we do. There we go. So you will always see Ascension Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Pacific. The pre and post shows are Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You can come for the pre-show at 5:40 Pacific. Post-show happens immediately after the Endure scene is over. It has been a delight to have all of you here. Thank you all for joining us. Michael, they're also saying thank you in the chat. And Lawdy everybody.
Too.
Have a great weekend.
Have a great weekend. Go out. Enjoy yourselves. You earned it.
Don't do whatever Toby would do.
You earned it. Just don't drink, all right? Just, if you drink, just pass the keys to your friends and stuff like that.
Absolutely. Have a good evening.